Hello everyone and welcome to my bathroom. This is what the kids are doing nowadays, right? Filming from the bathroom. That's what I'm doing today. I am bringing you the long-awaited 1-year postpartum update. I have been not really necessarily putting it off filming it, but I have not had the time I've wanted to sit down and do this. And actually, as we speak right now, it is 9:45 at night and my husband will probably be calling me soon. So there's that. So now I have to rush this video a little bit. I'm not going to rush it, but just a disclaimer to start. These are my personal experiences. Every mother goes through her own journey. It's always going to be different. There may be similarities, there may not be. Just because something happens to me doesn't mean it's going to necessarily happen to you. There are things that are very, very common in postpartum and pregnancy journeys that everyone usually will share, but there's sometimes you don't have those things. So that is my disclaimer to start. But knowing me, I'm probably going to say that 400 times. So I am going to start with physical things. 6 months to now, I have started working out more consistently. Now, I want to say I started working out more in November, so this could affect this as well, because I am somewhat active, somewhat not. It depends on the time of year. I'm more active in the summer, and then it kind of dwindles down, and then it picks back up again in the beginning of the year. So it comes and goes. I was... A little background, if you have not watched my story, I'm just going to mention this, that I did get back to my pre-pregnancy weight almost immediately after I had my baby, and then kind of gained some of it back and then dropped it. So it's kind of yo-yoed back and forth. I did do just a little bit of a diet journey when my husband left for a month or so in June, and now I am back down under pre-pregnancy weight. Not under pre-pregnancy weight. It's hard to explain because I had 2 pregnancies. One ended in miscarriage. So I am getting closer to what I was before my first pregnancy. I'm down 5 pounds. So I might actually be at pre-pregnancy weight. I can't remember, but I'm around there. I'm under what I was when I was pregnant. That's all that matters. So I went to the nurse practitioner through my work. I had to do a health risk assessment after my pregnancy because I had to do a biometrics a little over 6 weeks. I think it was 8 or 9 weeks after I had my son, so all my levels were still out of whack, and they flagged me and I had to go to do this health assessment, which was also a blessing because they do a body scan and you find out your body composition and stuff, and found out that I only needed to lose 5% body fat. So in actuality, I only needed to lose 10 pounds. Now, prior to pregnancy and marriage, I was down in the 160s, 150s. At some points in time, I wanted to get down to the 140s. In high school, I was in the 130s. So the misconceptions about body image have messed with my mind so much that I did not realize, I don't know, BMI kind of messes with you because I'm heavier because I have really muscular legs, so I'm gonna have a lot of weight there. I carry most of my body fat in my middle and upperish bodies, my arms are skinny and my legs are skinny, so I've always been kind of uncomfortable because I don't gain weight like most women. So I've always had a belly, and my face is just naturally fat. It's fat even when I'm super skinny. So my body image really changed that day for me. Knowing that I'm at a pretty healthy weight, body fat and muscle composition wise. So my goal has to been just lose that 5% body weight and then see how I feel, and then maybe lose another 5%. I don't want to get under a certain, because I do want to have another baby, and I don't want to get work so hard on my body and then be like, I don't want to have another baby. So I want to get to a healthy point, and then maybe one day when I'm done having kids, that I can just focus on how I feel and what I look like, more how I feel. So that was an eye-opener for me, in kind of figuring out how my body was composed. So started that journey. Health-wise, down there, I believe in my 6-month video, I updated that I had started periods again. My breast milk, I think maybe 2 or 3 months ago, completely disappeared. Like, I would have like little droplets every now and then. I stopped breastfeeding around 4 months, because Petey started getting teeth, and that is when I said I would stop. And I wasn't really actively breastfeeding as much as I was more pumping. And so I stopped. I had already started getting my periods before then, and those have been longer cycles than I had prior to pregnancy. My menstrual cycles had always been like textbook 28, 29 days, and now they have been like 31, 32. So they're not too far off what I was. However, last month I had COVID, and which is why I'm really far behind on life right now. I had COVID last month, and my cycle started earlier, which normally that does, but I don't know what's going to happen this month. We'll see what happens, if it shortens, but my periods have been extremely heavy, to the point where I've gone from I think the highest I had ever used was maybe a super if I had like a rough period. Now I'm on super plus, and it's insane. I don't know if maybe there's still some healing going on there. I know postpartum is kind of, most people are like, it's a year, sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. That I don't know if this is going to be my new normal or not. I know my mom used to have like kind of heavier periods, but again, we differ from woman to woman. So we'll see what's going on. That's where I'm at right now. Last month wasn't too bad, but again, that was probably because of COVID. They had eased, all my periods had started easing up a little bit, but I have to do like super for like 2 days, and sometimes I even bleed through those. If I'm not like constantly just changing and checking and everything in the bathroom. So it has been rough for me, from going from like easy 3-day periods to heavy 4 to 5 day periods. So that's not my favorite thing that's happened. I've also started getting like cramping and backaches again, and I didn't have that prior to pregnancy. I usually just got breast tenderness. I haven't had breast tenderness since I had my miscarriage. So like, pregnancy really does alter your hormones sometimes, and this may be just something, it's either my new normal or something that my body is still kind of balancing out. I have not started temping. I was going to originally, and I have not. I'm thinking about getting a temp drop prior to my husband coming home, because I'm just so bad schedule wise right now that I just don't want to get up and temp in the morning. I really want to start temping because I do enjoy it for some weird reason. So I don't know where my levels are that way. My other physical things, hair started falling out after the 6-month point. I lost like a whole bunch up here. So you can see it's growing back. I was really, really, really bad. But I'm glad, like, before I even noticed this was coming out, these are getting longer again. Before I even noticed these were coming out, I had trimmed my bangs just for something new. And I've been keeping them like that because it kind of evens out what's going out up here. But I found out, like, right after I trimmed my bangs, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I did that because I lost so much hair. You can't really tell as much anymore. Like these, because they do blend in with my bangs now, and they're kind of doing really well. But I do have, like, a lot of bald patches. Like here, I feel like I'm still losing a whole bunch of hair, but that could just be I'm really bad at brushing a lot. I brush my hair. Don't get me wrong, but some days I can be bad about really, like, brushing my hair. So that could be part of it, but I feel like it may slow down a little bit. I know at one point, like, I felt like I was pulling my hair out. There was so much hair. Now, on to everything everybody wants to know. I post pictures now of my 1 year and my current, or last year, and then my current. I'm not gonna post the 6 month because I just want the drastic change. So when looking at those two pictures, I definitely see a lot of changes. I still feel like I'm kind of bloated, but again, that could just be the time of the month that I took this picture. But I definitely am getting firmness in my stomach again, except for when I'm sitting because it's really squishy right now. My stomach is still squishy. There is still, like, my skin's still really loose, like, in the mommy pooch area. I still have stretch marks, as you can see. But they seem to be kind of fading very, very well. So I talked about my routine in the 6 month video, but I'm going to go ahead and add it to this if you did not see it. So my main thing that I do in the shower, and I usually only do it like once a week, maybe twice a week if I'm feeling, because I don't like exfoliating a whole lot, because it can hurt your skin if you do it way too much. So I use this Trader Joe's sea salt scrub, or lavender salt scrub, excuse me. And there's a lot of, like, oils in this. So apricot or apricot, however you call it, kernel oil. It's for dry, immature skin. It helps retain elasticity and suppleness without that greasy feeling. There's almond oil, which is an antioxidant. Green tea, which, you know, vitamin E, C, B, antibacterial, caffeine, all that fun stuff. Avocado oil, A, C, and D, and helps that regeneration of the scar skin. And then the vitamin E is added in there as well, as that helps with the aging. And then lavender oil, of course. It smells really good. So it looks like so. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's a scrub. I kind of mix it up before I use it because it's very, very oily, but my skin always gets super moisturized with this. I usually only use it on my stomach. I really focus on this area right here. Sometimes I do use it on my arms as well because they also get really dried out. I focus mainly on my mommy pooch, and then I expand outwards. I usually don't take more than, like, my fingertips because it does, like, spread really well. Again, I got this at Trader Joe's. Any other time that I'm feeling just like I need a little extra oil in my belly area, I use this cleansing oil, also from Trader Joe's. It is a cleansing oil, so it kind of milks up and you can cleanse with it. And it has an almond scent, and I usually just use this mainly just to kind of hydrate that area and just keep it very, very hydrated. Anytime I get out of the shower, I use the infamous Palmer's coconut butter for stretch marks. Has a pregnant lady on it. Collagen, argan oil, elastin, shea butter, and helps reduce the appearance of stretch marks. When I first was in my postpartum journey, I used it twice a day, once in the morning when I got up and once at night. Usually I was showering a lot when I was first postpartum, and I would use it morning and night. Sometimes I use it midnight. Just However, I was feeling, I was very, very self-conscious about my stretch marks in the beginning. I still don't like showing them a lot, so pictures don't really help me a lot right now. But I still use it every time I get out of the shower. Sometimes I do put it on in the morning, just feeling, if I feel like my skin's like super dry, I do use it. So I feel it's helped a lot. It does help getting your routine where you're constantly just working on that hydration. So now, more physical things. I am taking my prenatal still. I don't have it now. I didn't realize I was out of my probiotic that I use. I took that prior to pregnancy when I was trying to get pregnant. I also was taking a apple cider vinegar pill until probably about a month ago. And I've just been really bad about buying stuff I needed. So this kind of bridges into the mental thing as well. So when I went to that nurse practitioner appointment, she recommended if I wasn't going to get on, what are they called? I don't want to say prenatal. Oh my god. Birth control. To use fish oil because it would help balance out my hormones again. There is in my prenatal fish oil. So usually I'll just take some of this at night. I haven't been doing it for a while because I felt like I've been pretty balanced, but anytime I'm just not feeling very balanced, I will take one at night. Usually after my night snack. So this is where we kind of bridge into mental things. So I think I talked in my 6-month video that I had really, really bad postpartum anxiety. And until I believe recently, and I still sometimes have my trigger is at night. I usually will have anxiety things coming at night. I had a really bad anxiety attack. It was before Drew left, and I went to the hospital. I think there was a mixture of dehydration in there, but like I felt like I was gonna faint. It was weird for me. For somebody that's never dealt with those things before, like I've always had like some sorts of anxiety, but like I'd always been able to cope with them, and it never affected me that much physically. So that was scary to me. It hadn't happened in a while. Some weird different things. I do probably need to go see my doctor still, and I have not had a chance. I am going to see my OB in the next couple months, so I'm kind of, first off, the weird thing after pregnancy that you're like super attached to everybody at your OB's office. Why didn't anybody tell me about that? Because like I miss them. I want them back in my life. So I'm super excited to be going to an OB appointment next month to go see my OB and kind of talk about some of the things that I've been having postpartum. I also probably need to go to the doctor, and I was going to do that afterwards. But to help with some of the anxiety, some days that I don't get sun and some days I'm just having some struggles mentally, I've been taking vitamin D3. And I took this, I was prescribed this in my early pregnancy, and I had to take it once a week. They actually gave me a prescription version, which was pretty much the same dosage as this. Because I was having a lot of anxiety issues in my early pregnancy because of my prior miscarriage, and my vitamin D was low. So I went ahead and bought myself these. So I actually have a second one that's actually lower dosage than this, which as soon as I finish this, I'm going to switch over to that. When I have days that I don't get a whole lot of sun, work an office job, sometimes I'm inside all day. It's not just an office job, but if there's days that I'm just in my office, just focused on the computer, and I don't get to see the sun all day, I always kind of dose up with a little bit of vitamin D because I didn't get very much that day, especially if I get under that daily like 10-15 minutes that they want us to get. I just kind of dose up with that. So I've been doing that. I feel like it has improved my anxiety. I actually haven't taken it for a few months because I've been working out, and that really helps boost up your like emotions and things. I do get like the twinge of it every now and then. And a lot of my anxiety was like fear of death type things and like weird death realizations that like freak me out. Panic attacks, and I just like to snuggle somebody. Especially I think it just comes a lot with being a mom, like some weird trigger in us that we're like, I gave birth and somebody can easily take it away kind of thing. And the same with me. And then you watch things with like little kids. I can't watch anything that has kids dying or even talk about kids dying because now I'm terrified. So motherhood's different. Be prepared. It's not all bad. There's just some bad aftermath that you have to sometimes like cope with. Again, case by case. So I personally have been doing a lot better, even with my husband gone. I feel like I have been improving. So the vitamin D has been helping. Now comes the fun part, talking about the next baby. So obviously, if you've been watching my channel, you know my husband's deployed, so it's not happening right now. I'm not even sexually active because the husband's gone. But it is in the works. It's in the works. When he comes back, that is our plan. We're planning on immediately getting pregnant again. I actually felt like I was really ready to be getting started again around December-ish. I started really starting feeling normal again, physically and more mentally. Again, I have my occasional night triggers, but it's not as bad as it was February of last year, January of last year. Like, I'm definitely getting better mentally and finding different ways to cope in my different methods. My hopes for my future pregnancy is to be a little bit more prepared for the aftermath, and I know it can vary pregnancy to pregnancy as well, but being prepared for those things that can happen and how crazy those 2 weeks after pregnancy are, just mentally and physically. And I had it more mentally than I did physically, thankfully, and I know a lot more women have a lot more physical things after pregnancy. Those women that get C-sections, like, power to you. But I was not, I really had no issues down that area. Everything was up here instead. So this is all I have for you all. I hope this will help someone out there. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. If I get enough, I may make more videos about my postpartum journey. It's really not that exciting. Everything that happened, I've pretty much shared. So, but if you have any questions, make sure you post them down below. And if you want to continue to follow our journey, and when we get pregnant again, I may, as I get closer to him returning, talk more about my preparations for my next pregnancy. But make sure you give this video a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time.